Hey, what is going on, everyone? I hope all of you are doing well. So it's been a couple days since I did a video. Decided to take a break, especially with the 4th of July, and I've just been dealing with a lot. My shoulder and arm has been pretty irritating me the last couple of days. Nothing too bad, but I've decided to just take the break and kind of rest it. It's getting to the point, and I hate to say this, but I think it is my rotator cuff because it's getting to the point where I can tell that man, what is the term I'm looking for? I had it in my head, and then when I want to say it, I can't. Nerve. I can feel the nerve go all the way to my fingers to the point where, like, what was it? Thursday night, my fingers started twitching. Like I could tell my hand was starting to like almost like it wanted to go like this compared to like this. And that sucks. But then again, it could be the arthritis. I don't know. I do have, issues with my wrists because when I was younger, I actually did end up breaking both my wrists, not at the same time. One of my, I think it was my left wrist, I broke when I was in middle school, I think seventh grade, and then I broke my right wrist in high school, sophomore year. So one of them did not heal properly, but I do tend to have. I'm not sure which one didn't heal properly. I think it might have been my right. But even though I do have issues with both from time to time as I've gotten older, one of them I have more issues than the other because it didn't actually heal properly, which is unfortunate. Um, so it could be that, it could be from that and the shoulder, kind of my body sending, what do they call it, signals to each other to cause issues. But yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. I did get an update on Social Security disability, and it sucks. So I'm not looking to hear an answer until October 19th, which is 4 days after my birthday, and that sucks. And it could be another denial, which means I could be looking at another 232 days. I think that's the longest it takes. So it's stressful. It really, really is. The fact that if they, I've heard people say they've gotten denied multiple times. Like it takes like 4 times being denied in order to finally get approved. And then the more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, that's 232 days per appeal. That's a lot. That it could take me another 2 years to finally get approved. And it sucks. I've also been dealing with PTSD issues. That's another reason why I decided to take the 2 day break. Um, and I've also been looking online for like at home jobs, but unfortunately, everything there uh, requires some type of a degree or experience that I don't have. So, yeah, so that is why I'm pushing with eBay. I think all the signs are pointing to eBay, and eventually I'll get monetized with YouTube. But I think a lot of it's pointing towards eBay. I've noticed a huge, significant difference in eBay this time around than compared to probably last year. I'm getting more sales. Not only am I selling stuff, but I've been selling stuff for my mother and my sister, and that stuff has been selling. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm going to be going into a different direction with my eBay. Excuse me. I will be selling, a little bit of everything, but the direction I want to go into is buying lots on eBay, getting a good deal on lots, and then turning around and selling the items individually. So I'm looking for men's clothing, movies, video games, things like that. I'm also going to try to hopefully, work out things with family and friends. If they have things they want to donate, they can donate to me and I will sell them. Because a lot of times people don't want to have to deal with that. Um, at least until I can build up enough capital, you know, is I guess the best term to put it, where I can, start buying, lots from people. Like, hey, I'll buy if you want to sell all these. Here's how much I'll pay for them and stuff like that, and that'll kind of be, working out a partnership of some sort. But I gotta get my sales increased. I'm really trying to pick up a few lots as well as a lot of replacement cases. Um, and then a few other like packaging stuff. I actually wrote everything down that I need. Like I also need to pick up a female mannequin, which I found for a good price. But I just need to get the sales increased so I can pick that up. Because a lot of the women's clothing I'm selling will look 10 times better on the mannequin than compared to what I've been using, which is just a hanger. So I really want to try to increase some of these sales and to really start getting a lot of, what I have sold, and then start getting all these lots and, replacement cases. And, I put a lot of the DVDs I have that I'm selling into those like clear bag things. You kind of peel the back and then you flap it over. I try to give a lot of the movies second life, and recently I watched a YouTube video where a YouTuber was talking about some of the upcoming releases and things like that, and DVDs are selling. It looked like within, I want to say, like a specific time of June. Um, 4Ks and Blu-rays decreased, but DVDs ended up going up, and there's multiple factors. One, DVDs are more affordable. That's why they're selling more. I mean, when you can go to thrift stores, pawn shops, you're going to see more DVDs than Blu-rays, and DVD prices are going to be cheaper than Blu-rays, so people are going to prefer more going to that. A lot of people don't really care to upgrade, so they decide to stick with DVD. If Blu-rays and 4Ks were to change their prices just slightly to where they're more affordable, then you would definitely see an increase. And this is going to play a big part. I mean, look at all these studios constantly making new announcement, and everybody's like, well, physical media is no, physical media is going to still be there because of us, as movie collectors. So I feel like, I mean, look at VHS. More people are buying VHS tapes. And this Terrifier 2 at Walmart, people are on the hunt for. So, vinyl records made a comeback. So it's like things start to make a comeback. People get into the retro game collecting. So there's gotta always be that balance. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, and most of my sales come from DVDs, so I will sell more of that than maybe anything else. But I definitely want to try to push advertising my eBay store. So if you guys would like to check out my eBay store, the link will be down in the description. If you guys want a good deal, if you find multiple items, please message me through eBay, and I will cut you a really good deal. That's paying one price for shipping, or if you buy so much, you get free shipping. I'm always willing to work out a deal for everyone. So and it helps, if I can start making to the point where I can start building, having 4, 5, 600 listings, and start to make enough to start paying bills and get back on my feet, it would help much, and it would be highly appreciated. So go ahead, check out my eBay store. It's called Mikey's Thrift. The link will be down in the description below. But today we're going to be taking a closer look at the collector's edition Scream Factory release of Carrie from 1976, I believe, right? Yes. Carrie has had different adaptations. So it really depends on what you feel about this movie and all the other adaptations. To me, I don't see other films like we have the Chloe Grace Moretz Carrie, and we had, I think, a TV made version of Carrie. I don't see those as remakes. I see those as different adaptations, because to me, when the original source material is a book or a comic book, I consider films to be an adaptation. Now, if a movie came out back in the 80s and it's getting redone, I consider that as a remake. That's just how I've always seen it. So, like The Crow is a different adaptation with some minor changes. But to me, it's not a remake. It's a different adaptation. That's how I see it. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. A really, really nice slipcover with it. I like what they went with. Now, I believe at the time when this was coming out, if you had pre-ordered it, you would be able to get a really cool exclusive slip, which I think they're getting a little out of hand with the releases lately, but that'll be for a different video. Description of like the film and things like that, all the features, the credits, the basic stuff that you will get on any Blu-ray. And then the spine here. So let's go ahead and take off the slipcover. Excuse me. And then, of course, like any other release, you're going to just get the same artwork as, the artwork will be the same as the slip. So nothing too special there. This one is going to be a 2-disc set, as you will get a disc for the feature film as well as the bonus features, which, we have a very, very young John Travolta there. And then, like any other Scream Factory release or Arrow and, a lot of boutique labels, they tend to give you alternate artwork, which you can see here. So not bad there. And a lot of times when you buy Scream Factory titles and they come with no slips, because a lot of the first printings come with slips, there are people out there who create custom slip covers. I'm actually part of a Facebook group that does that. I think they charge like $10 a slip cover, which is not bad, to be quite honest with you. I know on eBay you can pick some up. I've seen people they're selling slip covers for like 10 to 12 depending on the title. But yeah, if you're looking for slips, you can always have alternatives. But the film was released in 1976 and it runs 98 minutes. Tons of features. So disc 1, we get a 4K scan of the original negative. We get theatrical trailers, and then we get Carrie franchise trailer gallery. And then disc 2 is loaded with features. We get interviews with writer Lawrence D. Cohen, editor Paul Hirsch. We get actors Piper Laurie, PJ Souls, Nancy Allen, Betty Buckley, William Catt, and Eddie McClurg. Casting director Harriet B. Hellberg, I believe is how you pronounce it. Director of photography Mario Tozzi. Again, another last name don't know how to pronounce. And composer Pino, what is it? Nagio? I don't know. I'm butchering these, so I apologize. We get Horrors Hollowed Ground, revisiting the film's original locations. That's Sean Clark. He's a YouTuber here. Really big on horror conventions, pop culture conventions, and things like that. He's done a lot of the what is it called? A lot of the Horrors Hollowed Ground. I've been watching a lot of those. They are really, really good. He'll usually, when things have changed after so many years, he'll show a clip of that movie and show you the difference. He's gotten the opportunity to actually interview some of the people who, like, when he did one of the Nightmare on Elm Street films, it might have been the first film, he actually interviewed the owners of the house, specific houses, like Halloween 4 or 5. And it's interesting because we get stories from the homeowner on how they acquired the house, and you get a little history with it. I thought that was pretty cool. And there was one where he did Bill and Ted, and he actually, I think it was for Bogus Journey, I believe, or it might have been both movies, but Alex Winter was there. So it's Sean Clark's awesome. He was actually at one of our pop culture conventions, comic conventions called Pensacon years ago, and I'm hoping one day he'll come back as well. I'm hoping that Grim Collectives will appear. I'm hoping, the owners of Pensacon will get him, because those are actually two YouTubers I want to meet. And I actually, to be quite honest with you, I would love to do a Horror Hollows Ground with Sean Clark. I think that's one of the things on my bucket list. And I actually want to do a movie location, because what a lot of you guys may not know, and I may have mentioned this in the video, I actually live near where they filmed I want to say it's Jaws 2. Uh, Jaws 2, I believe, was filmed in Navarre, and that's Navarre, Florida. So we do have locations, but at the same time, it's one of the most crowded places around here. I live in an area where we get a lot of tourists, so traffic is horrendous. It's just god awful. But maybe down the road when it's the winter time, I may do that because that's where it dies down a little bit. It's not as packed or busy. Um, but yeah, not trying to get too off topic. We get acting Carrie interviews with actors Sissy Spacek, Amy Irving, I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, Betty Buckley, Nancy Allen, William Catt, Piper Laurie, Priscilla Pointer, and PJ Souls, as well as the art director Jack Fisk and director Brian De Palma. Visualizing Carrie interviews with Brian De Palma, Jack Fisk, Lawrence D. Cohen, and Paul Hirsch. A look at Carrie, the musical, TV spots, radio spots, still gallery, a rare behind the scenes photos, and Stephen King and the evolution of Carrie text gallery. So, tons and tons of features on this release. So, if you're a fan of just movies in general and you're fans of special features and learning, the history of a film and behind the scenes stuff, then this is definitely up your alley. Carrie is a really interesting film. Came out in 1976. My uncle was actually born that year, and then 10 years later, I was born because I was born in '86. So yeah, Carrie is, I think, a fantastic film for its time. The book I've heard is extremely better than a lot of these adaptations. Great cast. I mean, PJ Souls would go on to do Halloween. Like only uh, what is it, the six? So 2 years later, she'd go on to do Halloween. And then you got John Travolta, who ended up having one fantastic career and is continuing to act. You have the guy from Greatest American Hero TV series, that had the most quotable and popular theme. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. That's a great show. It's cheesy, but I love it. And yeah, I mean, I wish I could say more, but I feel like at this point, a lot of you have seen this movie, and if you haven't, then I would definitely recommend you do so. And I would also recommend checking out all the different adaptations because I feel like every Carrie film is going to have something different. When it comes to the original source material, kind of like it. A lot of what the miniseries didn't have in the '90s, two newer movies had, and then the vice versa. There's a lot of differences. So I feel like if you're gonna try to experience, Carrie, watch this, watch the other adaptation, and then go with how you feel and what your favorite adaptation is. So with that being said, that is my closer look at the Scream Factory Collector's Edition Blu-ray of Carrie. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this closer look, please give it a thumbs up. It is much appreciated. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. I do collection updates, unboxings, I do movie reviews, and even closer looks like we're doing right now. So if those are some things that you are interested in, then definitely subscribe. It's much appreciated. And you can definitely share this video and get it out there. I mean, the more the better. And yeah, I want to thank you guys again. Please check out my eBay store, Mikey's Thrift. It will be down in the description below. So with that being said, excuse me, my coffee wants to make me burp, so I apologize. So with that being said, I am Film Talk with Mikey, and until next time, guys, we will talk films. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.